A lot of fun stuff to go over today. Oh, there we go. We're gonna hit this button right there. Going live. Perfect. Amazing. Hi, everybody. Getting everything fired up, ready to go. We are live. I am just hanging out here till about 11:05. And then we'll jump into the actual content, giving people a chance to hop on, watch. Surprise stream. Threw it up real quick. Just watching our viewers here. Awesome, we got a couple more viewers. Hi, everybody. Doing a surprise live stream. We're hanging out here. Gonna give it about 2 more minutes, get more people on here, get more people watching. We're gonna jump into some fun stuff today. Get ramped up, started at about 11:05. Central Standard Time, that's where I'm at. Have some music playing in the background. A little bit on theme. I'm gonna try to make a punk rocker and METATAILOR today. Have not attempted it, jumping in fresh, new, just going through the marketplace. Playing with the settings in the marketplace and everything there. Like I said, we'll give about 1 more minute. We'll jump into it. Thanks you all for hopping in and joining us on our fun little surprise live stream. Royalty-free music provided by Stream Beats. Just jamming out. All right, we'll go ahead and get fired up here. It should be about 11:05 by the time the slight delay kicks in. So hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We're doing a fun late night stream here, just going over METATAILOR. Today we're going to be going into, just playing around METATAILOR. We're going to be creating a punk rocker, just jumping through the marketplace, pulling in tools, just playing with it, creating the character. If you guys have any questions or anything, we're here to answer them. We've got METATAILOR employees, and Jordan and Graham, I believe, are going to be in the chat watching us as well, helping out. So feel free to ask your questions. I'll try to show anything that I can. After that, I've got a fun little like Roman Centurion that we're going to go ahead and prep in Blender and bring some of the pieces into METATAILOR for those of you who don't necessarily know how to pull something off of Sketchfab and get it ready. So we're actually going to jump into Blender a little bit at near the end of the stream. We're going until about midnight Central Standard Time. We're running for about an hour here, and that's what we're going to go ahead and do. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So one of the first things I want to talk about here, let me jump over to this view here, is for a limited time we are offering, let me get my head a little bit smaller, limited time METATAILOR is offering, instead of the $35 a month, $10 for your first month. So hop on, now is your chance to jump into the pro version, play with the pro version for a month, make sure you like it, you're gonna love it. It has so many more features than free. They offer a ton for free, but overall, pro is definitely gonna up your game and create a lot better outfits and costumes or whatever you wanna call it. So that's really neat. But let's go ahead and actually just jump right into METATAILOR. All right, so I've already got it ramped up. We're gonna start with a brand new project. You can see some of the stuff that maybe we've already released or is upcoming. We've got a Vegeta video, Plague Doctor video from your Discord poll. We took a poll on Discord. Make sure you like and subscribe. Join our Discord. Join all of our communities. We ran a poll on Discord to see what kind of character you want to watch us create. And Vegeta and Plague Doctor from Darkest Dungeon were the choices, and we created those. You can see those kind of hidden there in my recents. Let's go ahead and start up a new project. Like I said, I wanted to create a punk rocker today. That's our goal. I love punk rock. Shout out to some of my favorite bands. The album right behind me, Twisting This Way, Screaming Females. All right, so we've got a blank metahuman, blank character. We're just gonna jump into it and start looking for outfits. So let's go ahead and pull up a t-shirt first. And I'm gonna try to avoid the assemblies and groups. The assemblies and groups are fantastic. I love the assemblies and groups. We've got Mad Max Biker Dude. I'm probably gonna steal pieces from that. Chef, Wasteland Warrior, Cyberpunk Rebel. The assemblies are an amazing tool. But the reason why I'm staying away from them today is I really want to show you everything in the marketplace. It's very easy for me to just click assembly and bam, whole outfit. And that's exactly what you want. That's exactly what you want to be able to do, how quickly you want to be able to create an outfit. But I want to kind of show you some of the more in-depth parts and kind of just search the marketplace for some unique pieces and pull them from multiple assemblies. So that's our goal for today. So I'm going to start with a shirt. We're going to go to Explore, Clothing. We'll change our category to shirts. And the zombie one's pretty fun. That's pretty grungy. That handprint on the nurse top could be kind of funny. I'm just trying to think of those, you know, Ramon shows, the Misfits, stuff like that. An oversized t-shirt, that's one. Oh, that one's from a user. That's a marketplace. I can only try that one on. I have to buy that one. Well, let's do it. Let's try it on. Make sure I clicked it. Try on. Whoop, there seems to be a strange error. We'll skip it for now. Could be just for that user, how they uploaded it. Dirty shirt. There it goes. This is a try-on. Another user created this shirt for us. Same user, actually, so it must be for that one other shirt. That's a pretty cool shirt. All right, before we get too much farther into that, let's get some pants. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, thoughts, quandaries, comments, just let us know. Let's go to category and change it over to pants. Now, I know there's a couple pants in the assemblies that I love. Right here, Mad Max. I saw it before. We'll download that. Weightlifter sleeves. That might be neat on top of that. And that skull and crossbows pants. That could be... I grabbed a couple of those. Let's go to my content. Apply that one. Right on top, tucked in. That one's pretty cool. What can I do with our colors here? I kind of want to... So we've got our color here, but I want to change maybe the hue. And saturation. Oops. Back to our tools. Where were we? Oh, it's changing the belt buckles up here. It's not changing too much in those pants. I mean, I could probably clear the color. That would get rid of... That's one. Oh, blend 7. That's... So these pants, the UV maps are right up here. I mean, that could be a really cool look, but you really want to stick with the color here down on the actual pants. I might skip these pants for now. I'll close out of those. Let's find something else in my content. I had grabbed these Mad Max biker pants. These are much closer to, I think, what I want to go for. It's got the chain. Let's do the same thing, though. Let's take that hue, kind of change that hue a little bit, change that saturation. Let's change our pants right there. Drop the value, it's changing it up in here. Trying to make them a little bit darker. All right. I also grabbed these sleeves. I wonder what that would look like kind of over the knees. I like the little symbols on them. They're shrunk wrap. Pretty neat. All right, they're effect layering layered. I might pass on those for now. All right, so we've got the pants, we've got the shirt. Let's find a jacket. That'd be the next thing I'm looking for. And I need to get rid of pants. Still seeing pants in there. Oh, that's a style coat I brought in a while ago. I do like that coat. We'll find something that you guys have access to as pro users. $10 for your first month right now. I'm under my content. That's why I'm only seeing my stuff. Let's jump over to Marketplace. I've already got the Mad Max pants. I can't also do the Mad Max biker jacket. Then I should have just grabbed the assembly. So let's keep coming on down. Midnight Cloak. It looks a little bit too baggy for what I'm looking for. I mean, Shadowblade. That's a really cool. That's going a little bit more Comic-Con convention than a punk rock band, but I want to see that one. Bye. I love that jacket. I want to use that jacket for other things. See, when I was debating what to do today, I was saying, okay, so what should I create on stream? What should we... I mean, that collar is amazing. And the belt coming across, I'll leave that on for now. We'll take a peek at a couple other jackets. When I was debating what to do for this, I'm like, oh, we could do a punk rock. Let's give an homage to some of my favorite music. I'm sitting here. I've got a captive audience. We can play some rock music and create a cool punk rocker. But the other thing I thought of was, like, let's try to create Harry Dresden from the famous Dresden novels. A very fun, famous character. He's got the duster, the cowboy hat, very distinct look. This coat without the sleeves, I think that might be a closer bet. So I love that it has this collar. It's not quite a duster, but it's got a cool leather jacket. Everything everybody wants is just the only thing people want in this world is a cool jacket. That's a little bit better. And so far, these outfits have been fitting perfectly. Absolutely amazing. I haven't had to use any tools on them yet. I wonder if we've got like a fishnet kind of thing going for the arms. Let's see. I'm going to clear my category. I'm going to go to all. I'm just going to type in fishnet. Net. Hey, there you go. We need somebody to throw it up on their stocking. If you are interested in making some content, make us some fishnets. It's not too terribly tough. You just have to either have a lot of faces or create some sort of alphabet that can read. So I'm in all. Let's go back to clothing. And let's go back to jackets. I'm liking this, or maybe shirts. Let's go back to shirts. I've got this. I wanted a fishnet for like an undershirt or a long shirt, long sleeve shirt. That's kind of what I was thinking. So let's go back to shirts and see what we can maybe slip underneath this shirt or change this shirt out for something. It was good for a start. And then we'll go to boots. We gotta get some boots on there. So we're just going through, we're creating a punk rocker. We're using METATAILOR. We're just starting ground up. What we think we would see at a concert, at the Ramones, the Misfits. Black worker shirt might work, especially if I crank up the shrink wrap on that. There we go, we kind of hit the end. Let's try this black worker shirt. I'm going to drop that. I'm going to use my dynamic layering over here. I'm going to drop that down below this dirty shirt. Remember this dirty shirt we're trying on? I forgot there for a moment. We've been able to do all this trying on somebody else's content. So yeah, that's working, that black worker shirt. It's hiding some of that other stuff. I'll just grab our global shrink wrap and get that skin tight, like Under Armour or something like that. That's looking pretty good. But I'm torn. Do I like the sleeveless jacket or do I go back to our really amazing collared jacket. Full jacket. My content, clothing, knock out the shirts, all. Grab. Shadow Strike or Shadow Blade? I think I like that Shadow Blade better, and that's my personal preference. I think that's a little cooler. Hey, we got a bunch more viewers. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the METATAILOR stream. We are just, like I said, creating a punk rocker character using METATAILOR, using everything we're finding in the marketplace. We're not bringing anything in just yet. This is just playing with clothing, playing with different things, playing with tools. After this, we're going to jump into Blender and just kind of bring in, I've got a Roman Centurion outfit, and we're just going to show you how you can prep your own assets to get them ready for METATAILOR. It's really easy, really simple. Blender's free. METATAILOR has free options, and you can import it for free into METATAILOR. But right now, you can get METATAILOR for your first month for $10. That's an amazing deal. Hop on that. It's a limited time. Just play with Pro. Even if you just want to explore Pro and play with Pro, $10, that's an easy little fee, and you can cancel it if you end up not liking it, but you're going to like it. You're going to love it. You get access to this huge marketplace that I'm playing with. You get access to all the tools and physics and all the new stuff. So give it a shot. Hop on there and play with that. That's what we're doing right now. We've got this really cool coat. I love this coat. We need to find some boots. We need to find some punk rock boots. Let's hop over to the marketplace. Jump back to our categories. Go down to shoes. I've already got Mad Max pants. These Mad Max boots are perfect, but right now I'm avoiding our assemblies and groups because it's just too easy. The stream would be over in 5 minutes if I use the assemblies and groups. You can just hit this Mad Max biker dude. You've got stuff like zombie biker, zombie civilian, train conductor. Not as punk rock, but probably a little bit punk rock to be a train conductor. An Amoka set and stuff like that. So you've got some really cool assemblies and outfits in here that you can just click and you have a whole outfit. But right now I'm avoiding that. So when I go over to my all or my clothing here, I've got my category knocked down by shoes. I would love to grab those Mad Max or biker boots, but I've got the Mad Max pants with the chain. So we're going to find another pair of boots, some nice kind of like big combat military police boots. This is from a user. We can try it on. We're already trying on a dirty shirt. You have the option to try on clothing. People make content and they upload it to the marketplace. It's not METATAILOR. METATAILOR content that we put up, you get for being a pro member. Other users, other people are creating content, putting it on the marketplace, selling it, and you get a chance to try it on with your avatar. Any avatar, you can swap avatars. We'll swap avatars here in just a second. You can see how easily it transfers from character to character. Your character, our character. We've got a series of videos out there on YouTube right now on importing your own avatars, importing your own clothing. Take a look at some of those videos because this is a fantastic, amazing tool. Snow combat. Let's do that. I was going to do military police, but I like these snow combats. And also, I don't have to try them on. I would love to try them on. This user did a great job creating them for us. Let's just go ahead and apply these. Look at that. There's more stuff I want to add to this. We're going to jump to this. We're going to add more stuff to this character. But like I said, let's go ahead and take a look at just applying this to a different avatar. Does it just layer them automatically by Steve John? Yeah, it just drops them in the layer. You can bring in your own stuff. We're going to do that, and stick around, Steve. We're going to do that. That's after I'm done creating this punk rocker. I'm bringing in a Roman armor set, Roman Centurion armor set. We're going to get it prepped in Blender. I'll walk you through how, you download it off a website like Sketchfab, DeviantArt, TurboSquid, wherever you find it. You can create it yourself in ZBrush, Substance Painter, Maya. Wherever you create it, you can bring it in to METATAILOR, or you can download it from the web. And I'm going to show you how something I downloaded from the web, I can bring into Blender, prep it, and then put it into METATAILOR. So that's what we're doing a little bit later, Steve. It's layering them automatically, but in this dynamic layering, I can change it. So right now, everything's tucked into my boots. If I didn't want my pants down here, and it's hard to see because it's a little bit black on black, let's see if I can't change the color of these boots just briefly. Let's just change the hue and the saturation on these boots. It's just hitting some of these grommets here. Not quite showing us. Let's do something a little bit brighter then. Let's do the zombie boot. And I'll delete that zombie boot in a second, just to kind of show you how awesome this dynamic layering is. So it kind of creates this smart mesh, this smart proxy mesh for everything you bring into METATAILOR. It gets rid of the old dumb mesh and allows you to change and manipulate and add things. Let's go ahead and apply these zombie boots, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we're going to go ahead and just hide our combat boots. It's one boot, perfect. Just come over here and hit mirror. Got a boot on each side. And right now, those pants, they're tucked into those boots. If I didn't want to do that, I wanted to take these zombie boots, I just drag them in my layer order. And the pants go over the boots. The smart mesh kind of reworks itself. Pants are a little bit skinny. We can see a little bit of that boot coming out of there. All we have to do is go into our tools. I can do push pull. I can use sculpt original. It lets you sculpt the original shoes that you have, that you brought in. It also lets you see the mesh through it, or you can kind of create a proxy and sculpt layer. I'm going to sculpt original, just so I can see that mesh kind of coming through. I'm going to crank up my radius. I like big, broad, sweeping changes. Old habit from using ZBrush. I'm just going to click, just a light click there, light click there. You can see some of this is also popping up over here. That's already being fixed by our smart mesh. So me touching up here in the legs, that was not necessary. But I can go ahead and hit confirm. Retailers it. This side's doing good. Where it mirrored, it's popping out a little bit because these pants are a little asymmetrical with the chain. So if I wanted to touch it up a little bit more, I could just grab those pants one more time. Hit push pull over here. Sculpt original again. Oops, that's hitting the boots. Let's make sure we got our pants. Confirm. Pants, there we go. Push pull, sculpt original. Pull it out on this side a little bit. Because the boot's mirrored over, I can't quite see it, so I'm just kind of guessing because of how that boot was created, but now I'll just go ahead and hit confirm. Make sure you hit confirm. You gotta hit confirm to make sure everything sticks. Sometimes we had somebody just recently get stuck on that. Easy thing to miss. Especially when you're jumping from program to program, going from After Effects or other programs. Look at that, fix those pants. Let's go ahead and get rid of those biker boots though, those zombie boots, and put on our snow combat boots again. Oh, there they go. Now, why aren't they turning on? Cool. All right, so we're punk rock. We need some belts. We need some chains. Oh, we were gonna, before I got sidetracked from Steve Jobs, we're gonna flip avatars. Let's go to our content. I'm gonna look at avatars in the marketplace, but I think I have most of them. Yeah, we've got the METATAILOR females, but I've got most of them downloaded already. So I'll go to my content, and let's do, I was gonna do one of the females. I'll do this MPX female and change your avatar to this. Completely different body type. We watch it live, Taylor on. Double checks all the dynamic layering. Boom, punk rocker, female. That simple. And you can bring in your own avatars. Not only can you bring in your own clothing, you bring in your own avatars. We can change it again. This is a metahuman that I pulled from Unreal. Transfer it over to this character. I think this is Trey from the Metahuman website. Yeah, Trey. Now let's finish it up by bringing it back to our default METATAILOR. We went from A poses to T poses, male bodies to female bodies. It's as simple as a click. All right, make sure you guys like and subscribe. See more videos like this. We're pushing out more videos on bringing in your own content. Sneak peek at a future video. We're working on a substance painter video. So make sure you like and subscribe to see those videos and see more live streams like this one. All right, so we got this. Like I said, let's add some belts. Let's add some chains. He's a punk rocker. Let's go back to our marketplace. Clothing. Let's grab some belts. Got this really awesome. Oh, that one's a try-on. I can try it on. Let's do it. Let's try out another one. This is by Sadie. Saad. I think it's Sadie. They put a lot of stuff out in the marketplace. A lot of great stuff. So, call out to Sadie. So we got the belt over the top. I wouldn't necessarily want it over the coat. I want it underneath. And I kind of want this nice thick belt. I want to spin it around 180. It doesn't necessarily have a buckle. And let's go ahead and hit confirm on my move. I just hit our WER. That's our hotkeys, our typical 3D hotkeys right there. To jump into that. All right, I want to spin this. Oops, not that way. This way. There we go. Scale it out a bit. Scale it out a bit. Let me just rotate a little bit this way, make it a little off kilter. It's style, it's fashion. Confirm. Have that sit there. That wrapped really nicely. I didn't even have to shrink wrap it. This will be hidden by the jacket, so I'm not too worried about that. Let's add it again. Let's go back to our content browser, grab that same exact belt, try it on again, a second one. We've already got a belt kind of coming across the chest from the vest or from the coat, but let's say I wanted to like turn this into like a choker or something. Let's bring this belt up. I'm going to hit confirm briefly, and I'm going to turn my coat off just so I can see it a little bit better. It's working on it. It's trying to get around the jacket. Confirm. Bring it down once again. I'm going to bring it even below the shirt so it's not affecting anything else. If you ever run into the issue of something like this, not quite, or it's grabbing the collar of something, like if I turn my coat back on and I have that above that, it would be trying to like wrap that collar because the smart mesh is trying to wrap that. And it's doing a really good job. I mean, it's going around it. It's wrapping that collar. It's bending that collar in a really neat way. But if that's not what you want and the layering is a little complex and you don't know how to kind of fix that, you could always come up here to the top right where it says effects layering. And essentially that just kind of turns it off, the dynamic layering. It's not affecting any of these clothings. It's not trying to pinch those clothings. I do want it to maybe potentially pinch something or stick a little bit closer to the body. So I'm going to keep effects layering on and I'll just put it in the correct spot in our dynamic layers. That's all I really needed to do for something as simple as that. But that effects layering is a great tool. I can, oops, that's the coat. I don't want to shrink wrap our coat. I do want to shrink wrap our belt here, get it nice and tight. Because like I said, it's going to be like a choker. That's kind of the idea I had behind it. Same belt that's going around our waist, kind of hiding some of our pants features there. Right there, we got a nice kind of belt come across here. So kind of choker look was what I was going for. We can look at our accessories. I don't know if the accessories are going to have anything that I'm looking for. Like a chain or a necklace or something like that. Nothing in our accessories right now in that regard. We can go back to our clothing. We can go back to, we had a couple belts. Let's look at some vests. Just trying to see what's out there, see what I can mess with. A military police vest could be cool. Maybe not on this guy, though. What else do I have out there? What else can I play with to kind of emphasize this guy? Did I click on backpacks? No. A couple people uploaded their backpacks as vests. Not a big deal. We can also go to backpacks, see if they're also there. Let's look at hair. Got a punk rock. We need a mohawk. I was this close to downloading a mohawk and having it ready for today. That one's pretty close, our Frostwave beanie. The rest of them aren't, maybe the shoulder, I can't quite read it. Shoulder length with side part. All right, I thought I downloaded this one. Let's try it again. Download, apply. So hair is a good one to take away the effects layering. If you didn't want it to kind of pinch that coat in. It needs some work if you take off that effects layering. It takes off some of that. As you can see, it didn't kind of bind that to the skull as well. This tool is fantastic. Absolutely NW. Also, once again, I could just kind of bring it down because these shirts are kind of tight to the body. Bring it above all of that. And the hair is kind of tucked into the jacket then. It's not too bad of a look either. Let's say I did want it on top. This is a perfect example of taking effects layering off. We could try to come into here and check our auto visibility. Auto visibility will delete the faces of the avatar that aren't being seen. Makes it a little bit more lightweight. You can kind of see it right here. There's a little fracturing of the hand, hidden away. Now he's going to say, not quite working with this hat that's affecting layering. So let's just make it a little bit bigger. Well, you can see it right there on the side of the face, where it's taken out some of those. It's just taking out anything that it thinks is that can be hidden. Save you time, save you energy, save you polygons. Let's hit confirm. Let that redraw itself. Fix some of those faces. This one's pretty lightweight, so what I think I will do is I will keep it under the coat, turn on effects layering, and just hop back to my tailoring and turn on visibility. Back off. Shrink out the hat a little bit because I did scale it out to match. Just bring it a little tighter. All right, let's take the coat off for a second. We're about 11:32 here. We're going to jump over to Blender in just a little bit. Any other questions, concerns, quandaries? We're just creating this cool punk rocker in here. Can you bring in metahuman hair? I believe so. I'm going to let Jordan or Graham, some of our other experts here. Pretty sure a lot of these are just metahuman hair options. I have not attempted it myself. That's why I want to get 100% definite yes. All right, while they do that, I'm also going to get rid of the undershirt here because I want to just show you some more awesome options with the belt. Let's go back to belts. And we can just grab this Matthias belt. I should just go ahead and buy it. I use it almost in every single outfit. But we'll use the weightlifter belt. This one's by METATAILOR. I was pretty sure that was our logo. Squished. Alright. We'll turn the coat back on. I'll just delete the coat for now. I got this big weightlifter belt. If you wanted to turn this into a bracelet or along the arm, let's say you're making a character in that regard. Currently it supports geo-based hair such as hair cards. And I feel like the metahuman hair, isn't it hair cards? You guys let me know. If I wanted to create a belt like this and confirm, and you just keep going into your content browser here and applying it and applying it. And you can have a dozen belts in here. Same idea. Trying to create a specific look. You can get creative with it. A Final Fantasy character with 100 belts going up its leg. You can do that. Confirm. I could save this out as a variant and just keep using the same one over and over again. But let's just take these two, and the last thing I want to do with them was shrink wrap, and once again throw it onto another character before we call it, and go and play in Blender. If you convert the hair, yes, you can bring it in. So yeah, so if you convert the metahuman hair to cards, because that's what we can handle, you can bring it in. Metahuman hair grooms can be applied to any metahuman in Unreal without a need of conversion. That being said, with Unity 6, better support is coming. And this one, let's go ahead and shrink wrap that. Let's change our avatar over one more time. My content avatars. Grab our female. That's a little low on her head. I was reading the chat. Pull that hat back up. Where did you, we put our belts back. So I just need to tweak some of those belts Those belts went back to their belt position. There you go. Let's go ahead and bring it right back. We didn't even look at our physics. Let's look at our physics. Let's clear those guys. Clear you. That's just creating the avatar. If you're sticking around, if this is your first time seeing METATAILOR, that's how easy it is to create an avatar. We've just been playing around for 30 minutes. I've had very, very minimal need to go in. I'm going to get rid of the hair just so we can focus on this jacket. A really cool Shadow Blade outfit created by Creative Commons. It means it was pulled from Sketchfab or Turbo Squid. We got our character here. We're going to focus on this jacket, get some nice movement on this jacket. So let's go ahead and go to our physics preview. It's applying all the visibility options. I'm jumping around a little bit. All right, so we're going to auto-generate our parameters first. That gives us our physics on our coat, and I can click on it. And I can throw it around. It did a pretty good job right off the bat. Look at that. I'm not going to need to really change anything. I can start out by just throwing us into a fun little catwalk. Got a weird thing going with her scalp. That's because this is not a... I think this one was pulled from somewhere else, the avatar. We can ignore that top part of her head there. We're focused on our female running. I bring it back to our bind pose. And if we wanted to manually paint those parameters and jump into our paint blending, we can see where those physics are applied. It's nice and stiff around the collar. If I wanted to change that, have some nice strength, really make that collar up here really flappy as well. Paint that in a nice bright white. But you gotta be careful. You have to have some points that are nice and dark. I think we've jumped away from our royalty-free music. I'll put that back on. You want to have some parts that are nice and stiff, because if you don't, I'll show you what happens. You can keep that stiff around there. We can keep it stiff coming down the arms. Hit confirm. You can see that kind of bounces a little bit. That bounces a ton now. Run into another run. But what happens if you don't... If you blow your strength up all the way and hit flood, hit confirm. Oh, it didn't do it for this one. I was playing with it the other day, and it just, the whole outfit, the whole skirt, it was, I think, on the Plague Doctor specifically. It was either the Plague Doctor or the Adeptus Sororitas. If you go back and look at those YouTube videos, or the ones that are about to come out, on one of their skirts, I did that, and the whole skirt just dropped to the ground. It had nothing to pin it to. So this one clearly is made a little bit better than those ones that I pulled off Sketchfab. We don't even have to worry about that. But it does, there it goes. If I hit play, it does slowly come off the body, put our bind pose. Okay, so yeah, so it is flopping off a little bit. I just had to hit play. All right, let's go back to our manually paint parameters. Paint blending. Flood it back to perfectly stiff. If we wanted to take a peek at that, that is our catwalk. It kind of like sticks to the legs. And for some outfits, you might want that kind of look. Go back to our manual paint blending, crank up that strength. That side right there. So you can visually see the difference. I do half. Very flimsy. You gotta strength down the other way and re-stiffen up that side. All right, physics applied. Physics not applied. We can go into our viewport if we wanted to. Pause. Let's get out of our... We can always change our... Oops, it's not... Exposure works too. I was looking for rotation. That's the one I was looking for. Change where the light's coming from. Exposure worked too to kind of show you those two differences. Let's go back to our physics. Play. Gotta redo those physics because I canceled out and brought it back in. Oh no, there it goes. It saved it. Perfect. And that's almost a look too. If you had something a little bit more fashionable that was supposed to hang off the shoulder, I'm sure with some finagling and like if we got rid of that belt or something like that, I think we could probably do something like that for like a catwalk kind of work for fashion. That's a happy discovery. I didn't know I could do that until right now. And you could even come in and once again, still manually painting. Like that's super flexible. Like I said, stiffen that up a little bit. But what if we even just a small strength on this side? So there's still some movement. It's not as stiff. Let's make our strength up more. There it goes. Just a touch more for that secondary animation. A little drag, follow through overlapping action. For all our animation students in here. There we go. So that side a little bit more drastic, hanging off the body. This side's still flowing, matching. This is some really cool physics. All right, any other questions, concerns? We're going to jump over to Blender here in a second. Change the camera to just me for a bit. While I stop our animations and save this out. Make sure OBS is listening. Got 8 people watching right now. Amazing. Thank you guys for hanging out so late at night for our surprise live stream. If anybody's just tuning in or you're wondering what this is, we're playing around in METATAILOR. And we created a cool outfit. We created a cool punk rocker. This next step that I'm about to jump into, I just opened up Blender. I can even jump over to it right now. I just opened up Blender. We're going to import a Roman centurion outfit and just kind of show you how to prepare it and create FBXs so it can be easily imported into METATAILOR. So you can bring in your own content and just showing you how to prep that in a program. Blender's free. Blender's a free 3D software. It is on par with Maya, 3ds Max, any of those big, I forget the name of them, but 3D packages where you're just focusing on 3D. So I just clicked that cube, deleted it. Limited time, METATAILOR, you can get the first month of Pro for free. It's normally $35, not for free, I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing. The free version, I was thinking about the free version, plugging in that, the first month of Pro you get for $10, amazing. It's normally $35. They do have a free version, Blender's free. We do have a free version of METATAILOR. It has a lot of options, but that Pro version gives you so many more outfits, access to the tools, access to the physics that I was playing with, and that first month is just $10. So jump in there, play around with it, see if you like it for that first month. You definitely will. You'll keep it up. METATAILOR is an amazing tool that kind of brings us from putting outfits onto our avatars so we can export them out to Unreal or wherever we need them, but we can create that outfit, we can create that look and create those physics inside METATAILOR. All right, we've got a link in the chat for where you can get that. $25 off your first month. Let's go ahead and import this outfit. So I pulled this Roman Centurion off of Sketchfab. I just typed in Roman armor. It was one of the nicest looking ones. We'll give a link to it. I can find the link to it in just a little bit. After the stream, I'll post a link to it in the Discord if anybody's interested in pulling this Roman Centurion themselves. But we can't just take it because it's a full set of armor. We can't just take it and throw it into METATAILOR and get it to work. We kind of need to dissect it and break down the pieces. So we're going to do that for some of these more memorable, bigger pieces of this armor. And we'll show you how to break them down, turn them into FBXs, individual FBXs, and then bring them into METATAILOR. So first, we're in Blender. Big, kind of complicated program. Really, you just have to pay attention to up here where it says File. Go to File, Import, and it has an option. The one I downloaded is a .dae. There's a whole bunch of different file types out there. There's FBXs, MBs, MAs, 3ds files. You can see you've got Alembics and OBJs, PLYs, STLs, hundreds of different files out there. The one I downloaded was a DAE, which Blender can open. METATAILOR can't open up DAEs. That's an older file type, but Blender can open it and we can turn it into an FBX. So I'm gonna go ahead and file import.dae. I'm gonna go to my desktop where I've got my METATAILOR folder, go to my export to Maya, and here is my Centurion model. Here's the full model. Like I said, it's a .dae, so I'm just gonna hit import. So file, import your file type, and hit import, and it brings it in. Where is it? This guy just happens to be super small. So he's hiding right about there. So I just had to zoom in with my middle mouse wheel and pull into our Roman Centurion. To tumble around, that's this action that I call spinning around our character right here. I have to middle mouse click in Blender to kind of see everything. Middle mouse scroll brings me in and out. Middle mouse click allows me to see this character. So we really need to focus on one item. So we need to focus on, let's say, our helmets and grab that. So I can just grab this helmet right now if I needed to. Both these pieces, holding down shift, I click on the top of the helmet and I click on the little hair part, the horsehair part at the top of this helmet. And to get this ready for METATAILOR, all I have to do is go to File, Export, and this time we're gonna choose .fbx. There's one more thing you gotta do before this is ready to go. And that is going to limit to selected objects. If you don't click that button in Blender where it says limit to selected objects, it's just gonna import the whole suit of armor. And then you have to try to pose match it, and it's not gonna work well. How do you call this? You could call the whole suit of armor a full body suit, but it's much easier and much more intuitive for you to just bring it in as individual pieces. So I did that. I'm gonna go ahead back to my desktop, find my METATAILOR folder where I have all my stuff in here, export to Maya. I got my Centurion model, and this one I'm just gonna call C helmet for Centurion helmet. I've got that checked. I'm gonna go ahead and hit FBX. We'll do this a couple more times. Real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of these bracers, but let's say I didn't want both these bracers. I wanted to mirror it over. I don't want to have to try to pose match and have one for each bracer. You can do some editing in Blender as well. Up here where it says layout, we'll just change that over to modeling. You gotta zoom in again. But you can see it's giving me some options. It's changed those bracers, band braces, bracers, down to their wire mesh. So we can choose to pick on vertices, edges, or faces. I'm gonna come up here and I believe this button right here, I don't use Blender very often, that's select mode. I can right click and click on a, there it is, that let me grab a face. My tool of preference is Maya. I have not used Blender besides making sure I knew what I was doing. I have not used Blender in like 20 years, literally. So we've got this face selected. I do know you can hit X on your keyboard. That'll bring up your like delete menu. I want to delete this face. I don't want to delete faces. And that'll let you delete a face. So with that, I can hit one of these faces and I can hit Control L. And Control L will grab all of the faces in that bracer. Then I can hit X again, F again, and I've deleted all those faces. It left these little leather straps here. So I just have to grab these leather straps and I can click and drag. Hit Control L for safe measure because clicking and dragging does not grab all the faces. Click and drag for safe measure, XF. See, I didn't even grab that one, even after hitting Control L, XF. There we go. That van brace, that bracer is gone. Now I'm gonna leave modeling mode. I've deleted the part I didn't want. So now I can just grab this bracer in all of its glory and go back to our normal steps of File, Export, .fbx. See helmet already exists, it's calling it out in red, C bracer. Export FBX. Selected objects is selected, I'm in the right folder, go. Awesome, so I've got the helmet, I've got the bracer. We can do the same thing for the feet. It's a little tricky, so I'll do it one more time here. Grab our foot, go to modeling, select this box right here, that's gonna let you grab your faces. I can definitely pan down. How off the top of my head, don't know. I'm gonna grab that face, one face on this boot right here, Control L. To grab all of them, XF, delete it. Grab the back of it, Control L, XF, delete it. I can highlight the rest of this, Control L, XF, delete it. Control L. A couple of pieces are being stingy here. these little... Let's go to edges. They must be considered a different part of the foot. Yeah, they're their own separate objects. So I can grab those two all on their own and just hit delete. I don't have to do the whole XF thing. But then I can grab this whole leg here. Hold down shift after spinning and grab these two pieces now that I know they're separate. I want that to all be one unit. I'll go to File, Export, FBX, and call this, see, is it a greave when it's on the foot? I think it's a greave. Export FBX. All right, I'm gonna peek and see if we have any chats, any questions, concerns about what we're going through here. If not, I'm gonna keep going through. I'm just gonna grab our belt right here. That's the whole belt. I don't really need to grab anything else. I'm probably gonna skip our scabbard and belt here just for our own sanity because it doesn't connect all the way and it kind of covers two areas. So I think I'm just gonna delete this whole thing and just focus on the armor. So I'm gonna grab this belt, file, we're gonna go through the easy stuff now. Export, FBX, and call it C belt. Grab this guy right here, file, export, FBX, export selected, still selected. Call this one C skirt. I'm sure it has a much more official, cool name than skirt. He's a neat Roman. I will take this though, and I'm gonna take this whole part right here. I'm gonna go File, Export, FBX, call that C cape. And I'm gonna hit delete and just see, make sure I didn't miss anything. Nope, that was perfect. It's exactly what I needed. And then the last one, I'll get our breastplate here. Bet you these guys are these guys separate? Just gonna hit delete, Control Z. Nope, those guys are part of it. File, export, or final export, FBX, and call it C breastplate. All right, I'm done with Blender. I can close out of Blender. I don't even have to save it. I just use the DAE, made my exports, and I close out of the file entirely. Let's go ahead and jump over to METATAILOR. And I'll show you how well these work, how we can bring them in. And this process that I just did, it works on, like I said, Blender, Maya, 3ds Max, anything that you can bring these file types into, change them, rotate them, scale them, delete any faces you don't need, and then export them out as FBXs. You pick and choose what parts you want to bring in, what parts you want to take out, and it just works. It works in METATAILOR. It's fantastic. You want to have an FBX file. That's kind of the best file you can go for. I have also found if outfits, like I'm trying to find like a military vest that's got 2 belts and a whole bunch of knickknacks on the front, different packs, different like ammo packs, different radios and stuff like that, but it's all connected because whatever file type I pulled off Sketchfab, it also connected the shirt to the belts. I have found I can go into Maya or Blender and delete those faces I don't need and export out what I do need. I can make edits, I can make changes. If I pull something that is gargantuan off of Sketchfab, DeviantArt, TurboSquid, any of these sites where you can get free 3D models, I can reduce the poly count. I can bring that down in Maya before I bring it into METATAILOR. Because when you get into really high poly counts, stuff starts to chug. It doesn't break. It just takes a little bit longer for METATAILOR to do all its math to create this smart mesh. So if you can lower some of the poly counts, that helps. That Centurion armor didn't look great. It had a low poly count, but once we add our normal maps to it, it's going to look pretty good. So let's go ahead and jump back over to METATAILOR here. I've got our same guy. It's still the punk rocker, just cleared out his outfit. Let's go ahead and import in our Roman Centurion. We'll just go ahead and hit import. Cloth and accessories. It says it can take FBX, OBJ, MTA, GLTF, or GLB files. Stick to FBXs. FBXs are universal across the board. OBJs are as well. OBJs just have less information than an FBX. So if you can stick to an FBX, you'll be in good shape. Go to desktop, go to my METATAILOR folder, export to Maya. There's our Centurion model. Let's go ahead and start with that helmet. That helmet is our most noticeable part. Boom, in METATAILOR. We can choose our colors. If it has multiple materials, some items have multiple materials, you can change it in that drop down right here. It tells you, hey, it's 2 meshes, cylinder 2 and 3. That's fine. That's exactly what I wanted. Let's grab our color. I do have a whole textures folder that was pulled down. All of them are on 1 UV, which makes life so much easier. So I can go ahead and just grab my color albedo right there. Immediately starting to look better. Grab our normal map. Adds that a little extra depth. Ambient occlusion or contact shadows. It's thinking. There it goes. Roughness and metallic. How the light reads it. What shines, what doesn't. And then you want to kind of come in here and crank your value up a little bit higher. You can play with your smoothness to kind of get that roughness to show up. I like to sit around 60 to 70. And metallic, you can dial, once again, right around 80 to 90. You can go all the way up. But I find 80 to 90 with a high value, high smoothness, high metallic makes it really cool, especially for this armor set Centurion helmet. Then we'll go ahead and hit next step. It's ready to go. It says, hey, where do you want to put it? I wouldn't call this hair. I'd call it head. It's more of a helmet piece. And it says, okay, we're going to put it around here. Perfect. If you wanted to keep the source's dimensions, it's changing the dimensions of this piece to make sense. It looks at the amount of polygons and it scales it up or scales it down based on it. You could check this box right here. This was infinitesimally small, remember? So I'm not going to check that box. Sometimes, a lot of times when you pull in game assets to METATAILOR or Maya or Blender, METATAILOR is set on, I believe, you guys can correct me, is set on an X up axis, so things that automatically come from animation or Sketchfab on an X up axis will be correct ways. It'll be up and down. Things from games, Unreal Engine, the Epic Store, those are usually have a Z up axis, and you'll find all of your models kind of tilt to the side, and you have to correct. So if you want to avoid that, you just have to change that in a program like Blender or Maya. You can change it in METATAILOR, but that's just extra work when you can just do it in the FBX and be able to pull it in perfectly. All right, so this one's ready to go. I can place it, move it. I can do a pose match. Because it's on the head, I don't necessarily need to do a pose match. I'm just going to move it back. Move it up. Scale it up. And when I scale uniformly, I want to make sure I grab that middle one right there. That's pretty good. And with METATAILOR, you just need about 60% right. I think I hit 100% right on accident. So I'll just go ahead and hit confirm. I don't need to do a pose match, and I'll just hit next step. It does a little bit of shrink wrapping, but that thing's perfect. So I'll go ahead and import another one. Let's grab that breastplate. Take it back from textures. Breastplate. Open. Amazing. Pop over, see if I have any questions, concerns. Let's see, live chat. I'll chat. Let's change dashboard. There we go. No questions yet. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for hanging out. Go back to our textures. Add our color. Looking okay. Add our normal. Looking better. It's pushing it a little bit. But hey, we'll run with it. Grab our ambient occlusion. And that normal being that high of a bump like that, that is the cause of whoever created this model. Roughness. Like I said, it was a free model. It's a DAE that tells me it's either an old model, they were using an old program when they made it. But I saw it online, I'm like, I'm gonna grab that. That looks really cool. All right, so it's got all that. Once again, I like to crank my value up to 100. Really get some of those colors to pop. Bring my smoothness. This one is, I think, 60 looks good. I had the other one at 60 as well. Bring my metallic up to about 70. What does 80 look like? 90. That's not making a huge noticeable difference, so I'll put that pretty high 90s, or low 90s, high 80s. Next step. This one definitely is going to be our chest, our shirt. Next step. This one will need a pose match. I'll move it a little bit because this was designed for an A pose and our character's in a T pose. Don't need to scale it too much. And luckily with METATAILOR, like I said, you just have to get about 60% of the way there and it'll do its magic and crank it out the rest of the way. Crank it out the rest of the way. Just kind of bring those arms down, bring those hands down. Bring them forward, unbreak that elbow. Kind of bring our shoulders in, bring our elbow down. And it's just getting it close. Our hands are a little bit big. Change the scale of the bones. Just kind of bring them closer to each other. Amazing. And then just for my own, I like to keep it. I don't like to have huge forearms. I don't think it does anything. That's just the way I like to look at it and preview it myself. And that's pretty good. I think I can even scale it down a little bit. Good. Confirm. Let's hit next step and let it do the rest of it. All right, so we lost a little bit of it under the arms here. It's pulling a strange little bit there. So if you wanted to, you can come in. You could try just a shrink wrap, a global shrink wrap. That's working. But this is supposed to be armor. It's not supposed to be a shirt. So I'm going to take that global shrink wrap down. Go back to my tools here. And I'm going to use Sculpt Original on our actual shrink wrap tool and just push that in. All right, that's looking a little bit better. I think I do want to push this part of the plate out. I don't want this horse, or I could even go to our grab. I don't want this horse kind of coming under his arm. I want that part out a little bit more. But I want our shirt or this under part in a little bit more. So you can see there's a stark difference between those. Let's jump back to our shrink wrap. Bring it right in there. That's looking good. Try to mimic that. That's looking good. Amazing. Push, pull. Pull that out a little bit like that. Go to our grab. Pull that forward. And the back's sticking out a little bit, so I'll go back to my shrink wrap and just kind of nice broad strokes across the back here. Get that a little bit tight around the neck. Just watching out for that breastplate back here. It's piercing through a little bit. I'll hit confirm and see if it'll auto-fix that for us a little bit. I should go back in and kind of push-pull that back out a bit. All right, that's looking much better. And if I really wanted to push this and kind of keep this as armor and have it stay nice and stiff, one thing I could definitely do is take these sleeves that I brought in. I made those sleeves separate. I could have those be a little bit more loose. If I made those separate, I could make that a little bit loose, but I brought it all in as one, so that's why I'm kind of compensating for it. You can also see where that belt was sitting. Luckily, the texture isn't too bad. They kind of baked in their own shadow there, but you can see where that belt was sitting. So maybe if on your own one you wanted to bring that back, put that belt back on there, you could. I just felt like it would give us too much trouble for the sake of this stream here. All right, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and import some more pieces of this guy. Grab our belt. I'll do the cape, and then we'll check our time here. We're at 12:05. We're a little bit over on the stream. We're going a little bit long. I'm fine with that. I'll keep going for a little bit longer. Thank you all for sticking around, having fun with us. Playing in METATAILOR, playing in Blender. I'm on normals. Dial up our value. Dial up our smoothness. Too much smoothness. Dial down our smoothness. Dial up our metallic. Throw this one. I could call it a backpack. I could call it a jacket. I think I'm going to call it a backpack. Super easy. Scale it up. Bring it down. And basically, I'm just picking my length. METATAILOR do the rest of the work for me. I'm just picking my length. I think I want a little bit bigger. My brain is tainted by World of Warcraft, Warhammer 40k. You gotta have the biggest armor possible. Massive pauldrons, long capes. Going against the words of Edna Mode. Alright, I don't even need a pose match. It's perfect. Next step. The METATAILOR do the rest. It's going to sit on top where it needs to be. That's a really thick cape from the model, but hey, we'll run with it. Alright, that's looking pretty cool. I wonder if I could kind of dial up some of that red. You can change the color altogether. I mean, that's cool if you had a specific look you were going for. I'm just trying to maybe make that red pop a little bit more. I think that works. All right, let's give him his belt, his skirt. Let's call it Roman armor skirt. Man, I feel bad calling it a skirt. He's much a Petergus, P-T-E-R-U-G-E-S. We'll grab his Turgis. Does that sound better? All right, let's go ahead and go to our C Turgis. All right, this one will be interesting. I have not pulled this one in or tested this one. I want to see what it looks like. With its color, with its normal map. Will the normal map save us? Not really. I think the belt has the big metal wooden strips. That's truly the Turgis. I think this is just a continuation of the shirt. It's supposed to be more of a long shirt underneath everything. So we'll throw that belt on real quick once we get this in there. Come on, roughness. Smoothness. This one, probably like no metallic. And even our metallic isn't popping up because it's mostly supposed to be, like I said, a continuation of that shirt. I do like bringing my value up to 100, really pushing those colors. I'm not going to mess with the hue on this one because I didn't mess with the hue on the last one. I'm going to call this one a skirt. And just scale it. And I don't know where that shirt's sitting, so I'm going to start it up a little bit higher. Right around there. Let's try to remember some landmarks here, too. When I bring in our belt. You can always fix that. I don't really need to do any pose matching. I will actually just scale it in a little bit that way. So it sits a little bit tighter. Remember, we're just aiming for 60% coverage. It's going above the armor. Don't want that. Bring that down below everything, pretty much. Yeah, so like this, it's a continuation of this shirt here. It just goes underneath everything. Looking really good. Really looking like a Roman now. Import cloth. I think this will be our last one. We skipped our greaves. We skipped our bracers. Yep, so those are the kind of those strips that I was talking about. Grab our color. Looking more metal. Our normal map. Ambient occlusion. Rough. And metallic. Dial those up. These are very metal. Smoothness 100% I never like, so I always bring it down. Even now, I want to be able to see that color in there, and cranking our value up is going to help push that color out a little bit better. I'm keeping that smoothness at about a 67. Call this one a belt. Next step. Count METATAILOR out because it's a weird model. Now remember when we brought in our other one, I was looking for some landmarks. It was right about here, I want to say. Just even maybe above the belly button there, because I couldn't see the belly button. Don't need a pose match, it's sitting right there nicely on the hips. Ooh, almost perfect. I can bring that down. Bet you're supposed to sit right here. It's got a nice little spot for us right there. Kind of baked into the armor. So you can even tell the size you need. Confirm. Nice, let's give it a little bit of a shrink wrap. That's sitting on those hips. Let's go with the physics. Can't not have physics on this guy when we're sitting here. Sure, oh yeah, I already generated it once. That's fine. I didn't do anything with it. Manually paint blending. Strength super strong, really loose, all right here. Make that as bright as possible. So when I mess with that, it does that. Awesome. And do the opposite for right up here. It is locked in right here. That's where it's connected. Sits on the shoulders. No movement whatsoever. Confirm. All right. Don't need to worry about that one. Don't need to worry about that one. I want that skirt though. I want the belt more so. It did a pretty good job. I'm gonna have it stick a little bit more there at the top. And I'm gonna say, well, here, let's quick flood it with this and then bring our strength up real low. Because this is metal, I'm gonna radius down a little bit more. Because this is metal and not necessarily like fabric or cloth, I'm gonna keep it at this kind of low gray. How's that looking? A little bit more. Dial it up. And just keep painting it. I'm trying to find the sweet spot for this. How's that? I love that I can just come over here and kind of click. That's doing better. Let's do a whole 50 then. Maybe I'm being overzealous. Over cautious. That's a little better. Bring that back down to 0. Just kind of touch up that belt up top where I was bleeding over a little bit. All right. Confirm. Finish it off with that skirt. Same thing. That did a really good job. I'm going to take the strength all the way up, flood, bring it down. Make the radius a little smaller. Really aiming for that top there. We'll be pinched by the belt. Whoa, too much. We can see his butt cheeks. Cape is looking cool. I probably even stiffen up the cape a little bit. That's a very violent attack, though. Very violent pose. Let's just go to running. That's better. I might just stiffen that up just a little bit. I do like the look of that, though. So the cape I'm iffy on. Skirt, yeah, we're seeing too much thigh coming through. Bring that to a gray, make it a little bit stiffer, kind of like our belt there. Really, that cape is the cool part right there. Let's go back to science. This is no physics. Just bring it back. There we go. Our lovely Centurion. Out on the sands in the gladiator pit. What a cool guy. All right, that's pretty much it for our stream. Thank you all for watching. We went through, we created a cool punk rocker using all the stuff we could find in the METATAILOR marketplace, using belts in different ways, just finding outfits, talking about assemblies, talking about physics, looking at the tools, everything that goes along with METATAILOR, just to create a really cool character that you could export out, bring wherever you want. After that, we just jumped into Blender to show you how to take assets from somewhere like Sketchfab, DeviantArt, TurboSquid, big Polyhaven, big 3D websites that have lots of free 3D assets, and get them ready. We always say you can import them, you can do it, but how do you get them ready beforehand? We know how to import them into METATAILOR, so I just kind of wanted to show you how we can import them from, or export them out of Blender, Maya, 3ds Max. They all relatively run exactly the same way that I did with Blender. It's just you have to find the different places they hide those same exact steps. If you have any questions about any of that, let us know in the Discord channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll take a look to see if there's any other questions, any final questions before we call it an evening. I'm not seeing anything, though. Live chat. No live chats. So yeah, well, thank you all for hanging around. Once again, first month, $25 off. You can get the first month for $10 for Pro of METATAILOR. It's normally $35 for a limited time. Jump on that, play with Pro. Get access to all the stuff that I was messing with. There's some stuff in the marketplace that are created by other people, posting it and selling it, that you can try on, but a lot of that content, gobs and gobs and gobs, the majority of that content, 90% of that content is METATAILOR content that you just have instant access to with Pro Access. All right, I'm not seeing anything else pop up, not seeing any questions. I'll just give another beat here because I know there's a slight delay. But once again, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for hanging out with us for our surprise late night stream. And I hope this helped you out. I hope it should get you geared up and ready to play with some METATAILOR. All right, well, that's it then. Thank you all so much.